Hey, what's up guys, it's Ray Brizzy of Lucky Cat Beats, and today I'm going to show you guys how to make a hard flute trap beat using Scalar 2. Let's get to it. Alright guys, so I'm going to show you guys what I did for the melody. I'm going to show you guys just on the loop how it sounds. So let me solo the flute for you guys. That's the intro for the beat. I'm gonna show you guys what I did with scalars. So sometimes when you're making like dark trap melodies and stuff, you don't really need chords. So most like trap beats or like hard trap beats are usually on the harmonic minor scale. And so you just pick a scale. Usually I use E. I don't know why I like that scale. And right here on Scalar, as you guys will see on the screen, you can see the scales that it's using or the keys and stuff. And so practically what you want to do is like you want to bind here, and then you just play the keys on its own. So you just have to make sure you're in the higher octave where it's playing it, and then here you can just play whatever you want. Or if you don't want to use the black keys, you can switch to the key lock, and so that it's only the white keys. For today's tutorial, I'm just gonna use the regular ones. And I was actually watching a Bro Beats tutorial, and of course I'm always learning from other people, so I want to show you guys what I learned. But practically what he said is that you only want to use the keys that are together with the black keys to make hard trap beats. So let me show you with the mouse. So these two are connected and these two are connected. So you want to use those, and for some reason it just makes the hard trap beat sound hard. And then from there you just want to find a melody you like. And so I was just messing around on the keys until I found something that I liked. So let me show you what I played. And so I did that as a MIDI capture, and then I dragged it, and this is what it sounded like when I first played it. And of course you want to make sure that that's in the loop, and so you just do a 4-bar loop. And then I drew in these other stuff right here, so I drew these parts in here and stuff. And so it's good to just get the main idea out, and then from there you just like kind of drawing it in. And so that's what I did, and that's how I use Scalar today. It's not usually how I use it, but it's helpful when you want to make melodies and stuff, and that way you don't press the wrong keys or anything. So for the flute, it is an Omnisphere, and it's under the Trons and Optical, and it's called the Mellotron flute. Alright, so let me just play the track from the beginning. So here, as you guys can see, I did a little like intro to the beat, and you can just simply do that by whatever the last chord is and just repeat it and make sure that the hat and the kick go together. And then I have this reverse kick by Decap here, and it just kind of builds a little bit more like momentum. So I'm gonna play it so you guys can hear it. It's kind of like an impact, but it helps for the transition of the beat to make it more dramatic. So it's pretty cool. I think it adds a lot to the beat. Alright, and let me show you what I use for like the kicks and everything like that, so just give me a moment. Alright, so for the reverse kick, it is called Decap Percussion Reverse Kick Madness. It's right here, you guys can see it. Alright, and so for the kick I use the one from the Drip called OSTD Tight Kick. And one of the reasons I picked this kick is because it's the higher frequencies, and usually when you want stuff to like hit hard on the speakers, you pick something higher so that the bass and the kick aren't really competing for the same frequencies. And so I chose that one because again I wanted to like have that impact, so that's why I chose this one. For the cymbal, I was trying to see if I could find the cymbal for Blueface, but sometimes when you grab different sounds, it kind of separates you from other people. So I ended up choosing this Travis Barker shop metal cymbal, and it's not what's normal. I wanted a West Coast cymbal, but this works as well, and it's a little different. So let me just play it for you guys. Alright, and for the hat, I ended up using the Murder Hat Closed Gelato. This is really becoming one of my favorite hats, and I don't know why, I just love the sound of it. It just sounds trappy. So, and lastly, for the clap, I ended up using this one right here. And so, as I've talked about in previous videos, is that sometimes what I like to do is just when you have the melody, you can just use that same melody, put it an octave higher or an octave lower, depending on the instrument that you're using, and that kind of just switches the vibe of the song so that it's not as repetitive from the intro to the verse to the chorus. You just want to make sure it's always different. The other thing that's also important is adding transitions so that people kind of know that you're going into a different part of the song. The transition that I use is a pretty common one. It's called Ella Riser. So this is by Lex Luger. It's a pretty popular one. You can find it on his kit. On the chorus, I just went an octave higher. Everything's still practically the same. I just switched to the 808s. So let's talk about the 808. The drum kit that I ended up using is called the Baby Drum Kit. It's a free download. And I thought it was really good, and then I just transferred those 808s to Sublab. That way it's all in one plugin and I don't have to go find stuff elsewhere. But yeah, so the first one is this one called the Baby 1 that I called the Baby 7. So go check those out from YouTube. And yeah, I do notice that a lot of trap sounds, when someone else hops on the beat, they switch the melody or they switch the effects of the melody or something. So I just kind of wanted to add that effect to it, and then also I dropped out some of the drums. It just makes it a little bit more dramatic and it catches people like off guard. So you just kind of have to put yourself in the mind of the artist or the person that they might have on the beat, because I do notice that for a lot of popular songs that's what they do. So that's just a pro tip. The last thing that I do have to mention is how I made the 808s. And the cool thing about the melodies and stuff is that you can practically copy all of the melodies, and then you can just take that to the 808 and just drive it down to an octave, and that's all I did. I just took out one of the notes, and that's about it. But yeah, that's it. That's how to make a hard flute trap beat, and hopefully that helps you guys out. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Love you.